and welcome to another episode of Mavens of Manufacturing, the video broadcast series that features the powerful women from the shop floor to the C-suite who are changing the world through engineering and manufacturing. Today, I have Kim, who is the president of AceTronic Industrial Controls. How are you doing this morning, Kim?
I'm doing fabulous. I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much, Meaghan.
Me too. So you are involved in the plastics industry, but I would like to get to know you a little bit more and see how you actually made your way into manufacturing and engineering. So can you tell us how you got started? Was this something that you were always interested in when you were younger? Were you always good at math and science? How did you get involved within the manufacturing sector?
Yeah, no, far from it, Meaghan. This was definitely something that I aspired to be involved in as a younger female woman or girl. Interior design was more of my kind of thought process of where I saw myself when I grew up. My dad started the company, and after about 3 years of starting the company, it was starting to overwhelm him, the workload, the paperwork, and whatnot. And at that time, I was a mother with 4 children at home, 4 young kids, and he had asked me to just come over and help him for one day, half a day a week, just to help him get caught up with his paperwork. So that's how I sort of ended up at AceTronic. But yeah, in no way, shape, or form did I ever think that I was going to be involved in manufacturing in any form of in any way. So this was unexpected.
So you obviously stuck around though, because you're president and CEO now. What was it about the environment and the things that AceTronic does that really got you hooked and wanted to stay and actually succeed, the company from your father? What changed your mind?
Yeah, my dad was a very simple man. He just started the company to put food on his table for his family. He didn't aspire to become a great big corporation. But what he brought with him to his customers was integrity and his sincere desire to just solve their problems. He was in the repair service at the repair industry at the time, repairing modules, control modules. So that was his passion, the ability to fix things, but to offer that to his customers and help them get out of the jams that they were in. So that I sort of saw that in AceTronic and what we were bringing to the table for our customers, and that hit home for me because that's a big part of what drives me as well.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's a female thing, whether it's the mother in me, just wanting to please and just to fix things and to make things okay. So that really resonated with me. So I saw over the years, I mean, it's been almost 27 years now. So over the years, especially in the beginning, I saw that people came to us with problems and that we were able to fix them for them. So that was something that really struck a chord with me, and it stayed with me up until today. So I think that's what really gave me that passion to stay with the company and to continue with it, because that was my dad's passion, and for that to transfer to your children, or even for me to transfer that to my daughter, who is also involved in business now, but it's difficult. So that's what kind of struck a chord with me.
So do you work with your daughter now too? Is she involved with the company at all, or is she doing something else with business?
No, she's with the company. She's been here for, I'm going to say, maybe 6 years now, off and on. She's been here longer. I mean, all of my kids have worked at AceTronic during the summer. At some point in time, I involved them at trade shows, helped them to develop their social skills, being in that environment. So all the kids have been involved, but my eldest daughter, I think she's been here now full time for about 7 years. So
that's really cool.
Yeah,
I think it's great that you brought them to trade shows, because that is a great environment to help people develop their social skills. Because when I first started out in the trade publication, I remember how timid and scared I was at my very first trade show, and I kind of sort of just shut down and folded into myself. And it took me a little while to be comfortable in that environment and actually, but I don't think it's anything that negative that people like when you're a girl on a trade show, you do get some comments and stares, but it's, it's nothing too serious. But I think it was just the amount of people that were in one area and all of the technology that was there. I've never been in an environment like that before. So I think that's a great opportunity to do that. Can you talk more about AceTronic and tell us what services you provide for your customers and what industries that you serve within manufacturing?
So our main focus is the plastics industry, so the plastic molding industry. So we work with a lot of companies that are molding plastics. So whether their process be injection molding, blow molding, extrusion, or a
Okay.
variety of other processes, that's typically our customers. And what we do, so there's three prongs to our company. We have a service aspect, which my dad started the company with. And
Okay.
then we have the company slowly evolved into distribution as well, incorporating a distribution angle to the company. And then along with the services, we kind of morphed into also manufacturing some of the products that we were repairing.
Okay.
Customers came to us and said, oh, you're fixing this for me, but how about you look at maybe making it, producing it? So three of the products that we manufacture essentially came out of our service capabilities. So we've got auxiliary equipment that we manufacture, and then on the distribution side, we do a lot of MRO related products that are
Okay.
used in the actual production of plastics.
Gotcha.
That's
And
it in a nutshell.
when we talked initially, because we had a conversation before this one, and I know that the pandemic has affected a lot of manufacturers, and things are starting to open up a lot more now. Trade shows are not requiring vaccination cards. Some states are even getting rid of their mask mandates, and I believe a lot of the states within the United States, because you're in Canada,
Right.
they're actually not required. They're making mask mandates optional, so you don't have to wear one if you're comfortable. So I'm curious to know what sort of challenges the pandemic presented to you and what you're looking forward to now that things are somewhat getting back to normal and travel's opening up a lot more. I know there's other things happening on in the world, unfortunately, and that brings on a whole new set of challenges, it seems like, for manufacturers. So what are the main challenges you're facing now, and what are you looking forward to for 2022? Because we're just in the beginning of 2022.
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, I'm just looking forward to seeing people face to face. I'm really looking forward to that. Our business is, because we're resolving issues, we've always been in contact with our customers in person. So
Mm-hmm.
having to shift to doing what we do virtually has been a challenge. We haven't been able to go on site as much. There have been instances in emergencies where the customers have made exceptions to us visiting, but that's been extremely minimal compared to what was pre-pandemic. So that's been a huge challenge. And how do we stay in touch with our customers and continue doing what we do? So and it's been a challenge because the people that we deal with are not sitting at a desk. They're not
Yeah.
in an office. They're actually, our customers are on the plant floor or they're in a tool room. So that so to sit behind a desk and answer emails or even have virtual meetings, it's not happening.
Difficult. Yeah, you posted a video not too long ago where you weren't expecting to get an order, but you actually went to visit a company and you were so happy and excited because
Oh,
it actually ended up in a sale. And I think we lost sight of that a little bit because yeah, this is better than not hanging out with people like the virtual meets and stuff. It
yeah.
provides some sanity for us, but that actual in-person conversation where you can shake someone's hand and see their facial expressions, and
Yeah.
it's important for the sales
It's
process. It's
important, and nothing can replace that, honestly. I mean, there's been so many virtual events, conferences,
yeah,
virtual meetings, Zoom meetings, Teams meetings. There's just they do not do justice to what happens when you're actually in front of a customer. And
yeah,
I was on cloud nine that day. I mean, that was totally unexpected, but it just took me back. And, we take for granted so many things in life. I mean, and this pandemic has really opened our eyes to how fortunate we are to the way that we conduct our personal lives and even our business
yeah,
lives.
yeah,
So, I mean, we've adapted over the last year to doing things virtually. But everyone here at AceTronic is just looking forward to being able to meet with our customers again and go out to trade shows. And there's a lot to be said for those events that offer you those opportunities to network with your peers, and there's just so much to be learned when you're at those venues.
hmm
I've got tears in my eyes because I'm so happy that I got to meet a customer. It's ridiculous.
yeah. No, but I mean, it makes sense though,
Yeah,
because like, you know, leaders in the manufacturing sector, they start these companies because they're like, the companies are like their kids in a way. You want to do what you can to make that company successful, and then when you have
yeah,
an employees, you want the business to do good so you can take care of your employees as well too. So when a major part of that is taken away and you have to adapt, and then once you get it back, it's like a family reunion almost. You
yeah,
build
yeah.
these relationships with your customers where they become your good friends, where they become part of your family. And I see it and hear it all the time, and that's what makes a good salesperson, is the types of relationships that they build with these customers.
Mhm.
They're lifelong friendships. So that's completely understandable, and I love it.
Yeah.
So I know that you have some major goals for AceTronics, and one of them was to expand into the United States. As I mentioned before, you're located in Canada. So, if you had one ask for our audience today, what would be your biggest ask? What would you need help with in terms of uh, what you want from the audience tuning in today?
Honestly, just an opportunity. That's it. That's all I want is an opportunity. We're virtually, I mean, we do have customers across the US. We have some in the southern region down in Tennessee and Alabama. We have some in the northeastern states, but overall it's minuscule. We're a
Mhm.
household name here in Canada within the plastics industry, but we're virtually unknown in the US. And, you know, everyone these days, whether you're in Canada or the US or even in Mexico for that matter, are overworked. We're understaffed. We don't have enough
Mhm.
skilled trades out there. So the people that are working the jobs, who know the jobs, are being really overworked to the bone. We can't get parts. Production is running like at a whole other level these days. So who's got time to talk to a new supplier? I mean,
Yeah.
everything's running, my machines are running, I'm getting my parts. Why do I need to look at someone else? So I understand that. I respect that. But all I want is an opportunity, because we may be able to offer you something that you're not able to get right now, but because you're so busy, you don't have the time to give it the attention, or maybe a trial or a test. You just don't want to
Mhm.
that chance. Why do I want to bring a new vendor and create problems for myself when everything is running smoothly?
Yeah.
So that's all I ask, is just an opportunity. That's it.
You brought up something interesting, because I know that here in the United States, a lot of manufacturers are trying to focus on the skills gap and how to get new talent into the doors, and preserving the knowledge that is going to be lost with some of these generations retiring soon. And I'm curious to know what it's like in Canada. How are the trades, looked at from the next generation? Is it a priority for Canada to make the trades a priority again? Because here in the United States, for whatever reason, we decided that to put trades kind of on the back burner in terms of what's important for kids to know and learn to be successful. And college, like 4-year degree college, was something that was pushed. And now what we're trying to do is kind of reverse that a little bit, where we're not necessarily saying don't go to college, but we're trying to show an alternative of, hey, there's a way that you can earn and learn as you go. You can get an apprenticeship. You can actually make a really good living with some of these opportunities within engineering and manufacturing. You don't necessarily have to go to a 4-year college.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things that you see in Canada in terms of closing the skills gap, and how are companies within Canada trying to attract the next generation to the workforce out there?
Well, you've mentioned a lot of things that are happening up here as well. So the only issue right now is, they've kind of realized that, having put skilled trades on the back burner is going to create a gap, or
Mm-hmm.
has created a gap. I mean, the emphasis was on, a lot of, I mean, and parents too. I think parents were to blame. I'm the same. I told each of my kids, go out and get a degree. I didn't tell any of my kids to go into it wasn't even something that came to mind. So and then just society in general, manufacturing is not someplace that we direct our children, right, from at school. So that is something now that the even the government, it's gone to the government level, that they're realizing that we need to nurture this area, or else there's going to be a huge gap. But so that's come a little late. So there is going to be a gap because the bulk of our workforce is gray. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gray. I'm just colored black, but I'm gray. So when I go out onto the shop floor, there are just so many gray-haired people, guys. Honestly, it's men that are out there, and they're gray-haired.
Yeah.
So I think the stat was in 7 to 8 years, they're all set to retire. Like, we're going to have a huge exit of our workforce exiting, and we don't have that influx coming in. Yes, it's starting to, they're starting to develop it, and you hear about it on the radio, you hear commercials come up on TV now. So there is this push, skill trades, consider this trade, consider that. So they are kind of creating that chatter. But there's going to be, I feel like, a gap. So our population isn't as large as the American population. So we're really looking at immigration to help kind of meet that gap. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, Ontario is the hub of manufacturing for Canada, and there's a
Okay.
lot of exciting things that are happening here that are intertwined with manufacturing. But if you don't have the skill force to kind of, continue that forward, it's going to create a problem. So there's a huge magnifying glass on it now, looking to address it. So in
Yeah.
high schools, colleges, elementary schools, middle schools.
Are you in Canada? Is there also a need for teachers who kind of sort of teach these skills? Because when I did an event within my own community, and I was talking to some of the teachers, and they were talking about this platform that they use to hire new incoming teachers, and they said that the applications for the VOTech program courses are like, there's none. But for all of the other courses, they have like 5 to 6 applicants. And they were like, we're also struggling to get teachers here. And if we can't find skilled teachers to come in to teach these courses, then we're going to lose the courses. We're going to lose the budget for the courses. And then, come next year, if we don't have the course, we don't have the budget, and we want to bring it back, it's a big struggle with the administration that we have to, write documents and stuff to fight for this type of program. Do you guys experience the same thing out in Canada with, to finding the right teachers to come in and teach the students as well?
So what they're trying to capture is the aging workforce, and trying to use them as the teachers. So a lot of them are working alongside apprentices as well.
Okay.
And as some are retiring, they're being used as teachers. The knowledge that they carry is invaluable, and what they can transfer over to students, you may not be able to get from a textbook. So
Right.
they're trying to capitalize on that group of individuals that are out there that have years and years of knowledge in them. So yeah, I mean, are they being that successful? You know,
We'll
because
have
they've
to
got
wait and
full-time
see.
jobs and the employers aren't letting them go because they don't have people to come in, right? So it's kind of like a catch-22. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but the good thing is that the eyes are on this right now. A lot of eyes are on it. So
Yeah.
the
We
outcome will be positive. They just need to kind of speed it up.
Yeah, I'm hoping, and that I mean, we all just need to be very proactive in terms of trying to promote and market for manufacturing in the areas that we live in. We just all have to work together. It takes a village, right? So
It takes a
it,
village,
we have
certainly.
to, we have to, we have to take that whole competition sense that we're so used to and kind of push that back a little bit and work together and trying to solve this problem, because I feel like manufacturing is a great sector, but it can be very highly competitive as well too, and sometimes that can hinder us from moving moving forward. So if we can all just find a common ground and work together and help each other out, I think we'll see better results that way. And I'm seeing that now too. I'm seeing companies partner with each other, companies sharing information with each other, and giving leads to one another. So it's good to see, and
Yeah.
hopefully that will continue. So before I let you go, Kim, I wanted to ask you one last question for
Yeah.
anyone considering entering this sector, because I feel like there's still some misconceptions that manufacturing is this dark, dull, dirty, dingy place. And we all know that that's part of it, but that's not all of it. There's new opportunities coming into the space, especially with all the advancements in technologies. You know, we have a lot of automation going on, AI and VR opportunities, a lot of autonomous stuff, and just new careers are being created as we speak. So for anyone that, you know, is part of the next generation who might not know what they want to do for the rest of their life, what sort of advice would you give them, or what would your pitch be to get them involved in manufacturing?
Well, I think, what you're doing is great. I mean, women in manufacturing, talking about manufacturing goes a long way towards females considering, even giving a second look. So, um, I guess my biggest advice would be just to kind of keep your options open. Don't restrict yourself to the norms that are out there, or, the traditional careers that women consider for themselves. And then to just allow themselves to explore manufacturing, because as you said, it's not what it was 20, 30, 40 years ago. I mean, manufacturing has come a long way, and technology has a huge hand in that. So there's a lot of careers within the manufacturing sector that are not on the platform floor, but you're still involved in manufacturing. So get involved with associations that can perhaps show you what is involved in the manufacturing sector, the different types of careers. Just being open to it, I think that's the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
That is a
Is
big
there
thing.
is there anything that you or your company is doing to get more involved with the community that you're in, to sort of like show them what the opportunities are and get them excited? Are you part of any of those organizations?
Well, by way of so I belong to two boards. I'm on the board for the Canadian Association of Mold Makers, and then I'm also
Okay.
on the board for the Auto Parts Manufacturers Association of Canada. So, by way of those two associations, we do get involved with events that they host. There's
Okay.
nothing that we do specifically, AceTronic, in that avenue. I mean, we do participate on panels where there are specifically, you know, um, looking at targeting young females. There's an association up here called Build a Dream, and it's specifically targeted towards young females, enticing them, or not even enticing them, just allowing them the opportunity to look at all of these skilled trades, and perhaps consider them as a career choice. So we help them. We participate in their events, their trade shows, and guest speakers when they host events.
Gosh, that I'm gonna have to take a look at that. I haven't heard about that one.
Build a dream. Mm-hmm.
Well, Kim, I want to thank you so much for joining me on Mavens to share your story. I really hope that someone heard this and they connect with you, especially if they have questions about your products and services that you provide. I'm going to share your website. So if you have questions for Kim and want to learn more about AceTronics, go to www.acetronic.com. Kim, if anyone has personal questions for you, is there a way that they can contact you? And if so, how would that?
Yeah, they can just shoot me an email. It's Thiara@acetronic.com. So KTHIARA@acetronic.com. And I'll love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much, Meaghan. It's been a great session. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And thank you to everybody that listened today. Tune in next week because we have another great episode coming of Mavens of Manufacturing. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Have a great one.
This has been another episode of Mavens of Manufacturing. Subscribe for more and make sure to tune in next time.